A busy weekend in Oklahoma City and around the state, and of course there is weather in the state, so here to make sense of all of it, Rick Smith from the National Weather Service joining us from Skype or via Skype. And sir, thanks for your time today. We appreciate that.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, we've already seen some activities, and by the way, there's a lot of activities in the state around the state this weekend, but in Oklahoma City there's 8th and 8th. They've already canceled for tonight. The Norman Music Festival, we have the marathon coming up. Let's just get into today's forecast. Rick, what are we seeing?
Well, today it's kind of a challenging forecast for all the meteorologists on figuring out exactly what's going to happen. We have some of the ingredients that we need for severe storms and big hail and possibly even tornadoes in parts of the state, but we're missing some of them. And whether or not all that comes together, where it comes together and when is still a challenge. What we are expecting is still expecting to see some thunderstorms developing out in western Oklahoma later this afternoon, and then possibly moving into central Oklahoma later this evening. Again, that's still in question. It's not out of the question that we could go through the evening and be completely dry here in the metro area. It's also not out of the question that we could have big storms with hail and wind and all kinds of other things. So tough forecast today, but we are on the alert for severe weather if we can get storms to form. There are some ingredients there that could make them kind of strong to severe in places.
And that's why we have you guys down there at the National Weather Service. And Norman is tracking storms like this. It seems like I saw earlier today on Twitter that there was rain down south, and perhaps that was preventing some storms from popping up. Can you talk about how that works?
Yeah, we have a big complex of rain and thunderstorms that's been sitting down over North Texas, which is great. They need their water, and what that's doing is, it's kind of cutting off the flow of the really warm, moist air up into the state. If that complex of storms wasn't there today, and we had all these other ingredients in place, this would be a very, very bad day. But fortunately, that complex of storms is kind of keeping the really deep moisture that's coming from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of intercepting it and keeping it from getting up into Oklahoma, and keeping our severe weather chances a little bit lower than they might ordinarily be.
And let's hope that we just have some nice spring storms versus the DEFCON 3. Let's look ahead this weekend to Saturday, and then give us a marathon forecast for Sunday morning.
Saturday's actually looking pretty nice. We'll see mainly dry conditions, sunny skies, temperatures upper 70s, lower 80s across much of the area. For the marathon on Sunday morning, it's looking great, much better than it did last year, with morning temperatures to start out in the 55 to 60 degree range probably, and then rising up from there. We do have rain chances coming back into the forecast later on Sunday, but well after all the activities downtown are done with.
So you're talking later on Sunday afternoon, perhaps be weather aware again.
Yeah, threat of severe weather again on Sunday afternoon and evening, toward evening here in central Oklahoma. And it's April, and this is kind of what's to be expected. We had a very slow season last year, and this is more of a normal springtime where we see these storm chances every other day in some cases. So we'll be dealing with that again on Sunday.
Chatting with Rick Smith, as you can see via Skype, from the National Weather Service down in Norman. And Rick, one last question. Looking ahead to next week, looks like some cooler temperatures are in our forecast.
Yeah, there will be some cooler temperatures. Will be, temperatures in the morning. We may see some morning lows Wednesday, midweek, maybe in the mid-upper 40s over parts of the area, and nice pleasant highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. So, summer will be here before you know it. So let's soak up every one of those 70-degree days that we can.
I agree 100%. It's as good as it gets in Oklahoma in the spring and the fall, and then it's cold and hot. Rick Smith from the National Weather Service, sir, you have a good weekend.
Thanks, Dave. You too.
All right, stay with newsok.com for updates. We will be updated from the National Weather Service as weather information comes in.